How do you do it? So we're going to break down basically how to make $100,000 as fast as possible in wholesaling real estate. It is possible. It takes a lot of work, and we're going to share it all today, because the one thing about making $100,000, it is literally the same as making $10,000 if you really have your margins right, right? So let me kind of put this into mindset for you guys. I think this is something I think that would be really important for a lot of people. So what is $100,000 in wholesaling real estate assignment deals, right? It is 10 deals at 10K each a deal, right? 10 times 10, right? $100,000. It also can be just 5 deals at $20,000 a deal, right? Pretty much it. You're doing less deals, but you're making the same amount of money. You can do 20 deals at 5K a deal, right? And this is just math, right? Or for my hustlers out here, right? You got 4 men and women in a room. One guy said, I did 10 deals this month. One guy saying I did 5 deals this month. One girl saying I did 20 deals this month. And one guy who has his little king crown on, I did 100 deals this month. All 4 of these men and women made the same amount of money, but one did a lot less deals than the other, right? What is the moral of the story here? Where's the moral of it? 5 deals at 20K each versus 20 deals at 5K each. It is the same amount of work. Let me say this one more time. It is the same amount of stinking work. You will literally work the same amount doing 5 deals than 20 deals. I'm sorry. 5 deals is actually going to be a lot less work than 20. Guys, to do a deal and you only make $1,000, you have to go through the same rigmarole as doing a deal that is $100,000. The only thing that's different is that contract price. The assignment doesn't really matter, because like the money's at that contract price, sometimes at the assignment too if you get a cash buyer. But I want you to put this in your head, because there's so many gurus, so many mastermind people out here saying, oh, I'll teach you how to do 50 deals. Guys, I don't care how much deals you do. Show me the revenue. Show me the assignment fees. You should care more about the profit at the end of the day than the amount of deals you do. It drives me crazy. Oh, my team did 30 deals this month. Your average margin, Jeffrey, is $3,000 a deal. I'm not impressed. I did a $120,000 deal this month. What? And I don't go bragging around how I just did one deal like on this one list, right? Like, you guys, there's such a big misconception in this business, and it drives me crazy, right? And it's a limiting mindset that like the amount of deals you do is the most important part. No, it is the profit. Okay. There's 2 factors how much money you make in this business. Okay. It is your average deal margin versus the amount of deals you do. It's a multiplication, right? So I think one thing a lot of people, they don't think about when they're doing 100K a month is, if I want to go from 50K a month to 100K a month, there's 2 ways to do it. I can double the amount of deals I do, which is doubling my marketing, it costs a lot. It costs a lot of money to double the amount of deals you do, right? But how much harder would it be if I just lowballed a little more? That's so much easier, right? Because that's an extra, if I did 10 deals and each deal is 5K, right? If I just lowballed it takes me an extra 5 seconds to lowball, right? To justify the lowball with the freewholesaling.com strategy. I literally spent an extra 50 seconds and I doubled my assignment fee. And no one thinks about that. To double your assignment fee, all you got to do is spend an extra minute lowballing.
Yeah. So guys, the really cool thing about wholesaling is don't let someone tell you like what you need to be. Like 100 grand, like it sounds great. And don't get me wrong, it's doable. I've been doing this a long time. It took me a while to get there. The big lie that you guys got to understand is a lot of people tell you to do, I've heard somebody the other day, I do 45 deals a month. The other guy goes, I do 55. The only thing that matters is the net. Okay. Because if I say I'm doing $150,000 in assignment fees a month, but I'm spending 130 on like marketing and staff, you're doing significantly better than that person. And I want you to understand, anyone who tells you about how much they do in gross and they never want to talk about the net, you better run, because I promise you they have a course in the back end, and that's how they justify making a little bit of money to breaking even to actually losing money. This is how you fill seats in a seminar. And I'm here to tell you 100 grand is doable. The question is, do you want to do it? And can you do it profitably? Like, anybody can lose their butt trying to earn it. Like, you could spend $1 million making 100 grand. I guarantee you'll do it, but you're going to lose money. So Remember, if you just want to do it, go, listen, Zach, Rick, I just want to make 20, 30 grand a month. It's easily doable. You will still have $100,000 months in there. Remember, everything averages out. So we're not telling you have to do it this way, but we're telling you the steps and the mindset that you have to do to be able to run an operation like that. And you don't need 20 and 30 employees, guys. We've proven that to death. You cannot overscale this business because all real estate investing is local. There's no way to do it nationally. If it did, I would be in every 50 states and all 3,500 counties making billions of dollars doing it. But you have to have a presence in every market, and you have to have some sort of physical boots on the ground. Even though you can do it virtually, I agree 100%, but it's much easier if you have people going out on the boots. So
I agree. And here's the other thing. Unfortunately, it's true, but like versus us, making millions a year in wholesaling, but like the guy making $1 billion on like his engineering thing or like some crazy, online business, he's probably, or she's probably working the same amount as us, but like they're 10x the amount of money we're even making. And it's like, it's all about like, it's what you do with that mind. It's really what you get to a certain point in this business where it's not about you going out and hustling anymore. It's about having that team doing it for you. Right. I think that's a big misconception a lot of people have, but yeah, it's the same amount of work. Like it's actually less work doing 5 deals than 20. You got to talk to the seller. You got to do the same follow-up, the same like cash buyer walk. It's the same thing, guys. It's just the price. The process is the same. Why not do less work for the same amount of money? And then you're able to scale, right?
I agree. So guys, understand scaling and wholesaling. Anybody can throw money at leads, but it's very easy to outspend yourself. Yeah. I think I found the sweet spot after 20 years because I used to say, well, if I spend $5,000 a month, let's just spend 10. If I'm doing 10, I'll do 20. Does not work that way in wholesaling. Not even close. You think it logically would. It doesn't. So as you scale up, say you're only spending 500 a month, then you could go to 700 at 1,000. You just keep working it up till the point people say, okay, well, Rick, how far can I push it? You push it till you don't go nuts. But once you can't answer phones and go on appointments, you have to get help. And that's how you responsibly scale a business to at least get it up to 6 figures.
I agree 100%. So let's keep going in this. So like, why not do the same amount of work for no money? Like for the same amount of money. Like, why are you going to keep stressing over this? It literally makes no sense to me. So if you want to start making 100K a month, one thing I can tell you is like in 30 days, there's 2 ways to do it, right? There is paid lists and there's free lists, right? I would say straight up, if you want to make 100K this month, I would honestly say, like, this is kind of weird to say, but like, I would just go after government lists. And I would go after every single government list, pull it all, and then market to it. Because this title wasn't how to make 100K, like, in how to make 100K a month for like years straight, right? This is how to make 100K the fastest way possible. And if you're going to make $100,000 the fastest way possible, you're going to have to go to the leads that are ready to sell as fast as possible. Now, I could theoretically say this in multiple ways, but like I could go to zachdata.com. I go to listrei.com. I can pull a high equity list. I can do all this stuff, right? The problem is those lists, once you get a lead on them, it might take you 2-3 weeks just to follow up before they're even ready to sell. And then like you're already 28 days in on a paid list. I do paid lists every month. We all preach it. But within, like, if you want to do this in 30 days and you get as many leads as possible ready to go, there's not one type of seller that just wants to get rid of it as quick as possible as a government list. If I got a guy who has a pre-foreclosure right now and the auction is in 3 weeks, that person's ready to go right at that like first call. They're ready to go. The code violations, probates to a point, but then you got to deal with attorneys and stuff. But like the government list for most people, if you got to pay for skip tracing with it, but like if you pay skip tracing on a government list, it's gonna be the fastest, probably one of the most efficient ways out there. So I would say government list, pull monthly, guys. So pull all these, pull all the probates, all the arrest records with multiple factors on them, code violations, liens, water shutoffs, and fire damage properties. Guys, I teach that all on the bottom right-hand corner there at freewholesaling.com, how to pull this list. I'm telling you, let me see. Did I stutter on this? Okay. Did I stutter when I said this? Did I say pull the ones you feel like?
No,
It's the
you got
ones,
to do it.
all of them.
So, guys, understanding like this list you see on your screen right now, it's the fastest way to find motivated sellers that will earn you the highest margin. And listen, I do have reservations about, okay, let's do this in 30 days. Like, I get it. I love to do it for a plan. But keep in mind, I've been doing this business 20 years, X over 5. In that list, you're going to get a few people that are ready to do deals now. And that's great. So many wholesalers try to focus on what we call like the low hanging fruit, and they forget to shake the rest of the tree. You're going to have a lot of people on that list that just, they need more time. They got to wait for an insurance check. I got to wait till my wife okays it. I've got to wait till my job transfers me. You want to do 100K consistently in the long run, understanding you have to be present when these people make the decision. So you take one or two deals down, you make a quick 10, 30K, understanding if you can be patient and you want to be in wholesaling for the long run, the follow-ups is what will make a difference in a 1 year's time frame between you making 50K a month versus like 100K. And so many people out there just teach like run fast as you can. You got to do wholesaling smart too. Sometimes by waiting people out, you can make a ton of money. I waited somebody out almost 4 years once. The amount of money I make, I couldn't even, I was blown away. And you know what the hardest part was? It was freaking waiting. So if you can be patient and work through and work these people in your follow-up and follow through, it's frustrating. It's super annoying. Nobody talks about in wholesaling, but if you want to almost double your revenue, the follow-up and being patient. So many people tell me when I used to go out and meet with sellers, they're like, this guy just like keeps sticking a contract in my mouth. I told him I needed time. Some people actually need time. They're not lying. And if you wait them out, you build rapport. When the deal goes down, it's usually 10 times better than you ever thought it was. So I want everyone to make 100K in 30 days. But if you consistently play wholesaling for the long game, you will make a tremendous amount of money. And so many people are just trying to grab deals today. If you call 100 people today, there's probably 20 or 30 people on that list are going to make a decision in the next 3 to 6 months to sell their property. The question is, do you want to repay for the skip tracing and not follow up with them? Or do you want to put them in your follow-up and eventually catch them when they sell? So guys, it's a long game too. I'm all about the short game.
Yeah.
But you guys have already put in the time and the energy of these leads. Keep them in the follow-up. And the frustrating part is when you start out, you have 0 leads. You get a couple hundred. Try after 20 years. My follow-up is so disgustingly long. It's a good problem to have, and you're going to have it too. So understand when some people need time, they actually need time. Don't just try to run them over. Yes, you got to get to the truth, but I'm telling you, it makes a tremendous difference, especially in probates, guys. Probates, you should be able to at least double your profit level. So an easy path to getting 100K is make sure you're incorporating probates.
100, like I tell everyone to do that, you know. But yeah, you got guys pull all of them. It's not a suggestion.
Yeah, and if you get one monster deal in your 30 days, say you make like 42K on one deal, it's really easy to make up that difference of that $58,000. The problem is you can't do every deal at 3 and 5K. You just won't make it. That's like realtor money. So
I agree. So we got to also think of the marketing channels to find deals as soon as possible. Like if we got to get deals quick, what are the marketing channels that we can do, right? I'm telling you, I've said this a million times. Drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars. Now, it's really hard for you to make 100K doing it all yourself. If you can, and I preach a lot of people that are outside the guru influencer space that actually legit do real estate deals, like the real ones out here, they actually have scaled up drawing for dollars teams. It's not talked about. That's something I always preach to everybody. If you can find people to put sticky notes out for you, to drive for dollars for you, it's better than any of these paid lists. I'm a big proponent of paid lists, direct mail, texting, calling, all this stuff. But like, if you can find people to drive for dollars for you, do the buddy approach, which I taught last week, it's money. It is cash money. Ton of money you can make in these deals. I'm telling you guys right now, drawing for dollars, reverse drawing for dollars, you have to earn that list. You can't pay for it. And that's where a lot of this money's coming in. Real, like if you want to do it quick, these people are ready to go. I teach it all free wholesaling.com. Everyone knows what I'm doing. What's the next one? SMS text blasting. I love SMS text blasting. So if you're going to SMS text blast, I'll tell you some of the best lists to be pulling on SMS text blasting. Straight up, I'm not a big proponent of like just throwing everything on a texting list, right? A little more. So maybe some tired landlords, High equity vacants. I would probably skip the high equity, but like a high equity vacant list and like a tired landlord list, I would probably say is really good for texting. Now we're kind of getting to cold calling. I'm a general guy. I really like just if you're going to do a big cold calling operation with VAs, I would pretty much do all the high equities. And the reason why I say do all the high equities is because I think this is a really big one. But like, if you have a code violation, if I have a tired landlord, right, all this stuff, they're all actually going to be on the high equity list, right?
Mm-hmm.
High equity is like a wide net. Like, so I know not everyone's from Louisiana, but like, if you ever watch Forrest Gump or like those shrimp boats, do the shrimp boats have little reels and they're trying to catch like they have a huge net, and they just go anything. And unfortunately, this is not good for shrimp boats, but like they'll catch everything. They know where all the shrimp are. They catch it all. Like
95% of what they catch is what they call bycatch, which is everything
Yeah.
other than shrimp.
and
Turtles, dolphins.
yeah, so that's a little much.
crabs.
But what I can tell you with the high equity is you can sort of not even pull any lists and just do a big cold calling list, and it's all going to be on there. And it's an expensive list, but like if you're running a huge operation, you're ready to scale, just do the entire high equity list in your county and cold call it. So do what we teach at freewholesaling.com. We like it's high equity. We like 60% more. We like it below the median home price. We like they own it for at least 3 years, not on the MLS, like all that stuff. But all the tired landlords are going to be in that list, right? All the good pre-foreclosure deals are already going to be in that list. All pretty much the probates are going to be in that list. Now, when we cold call and text blast our huge high equity lists, all of our probates are already on that list. But we still send probates on top of that. And it's pretty cool because sometimes I'll text and pretend I'm like one of our acquisitions managers. But when we send a letter out, it might be from Zach. So it's like two different people are calling them. It's a good cop, bad cop approach. One quick hint.
McDonald's, Burger King, right?
McDonald's. So like one big hint I used to have is like,
But you can't beat the McDonald's fries and the Whopper.
No.
If you could blend those two together,
I like a Big Mac's better than a Whopper, but
that drippy sauce is a little much.
Big Mac's
The
amazing.
drippy sauce.
You're questioning if I'm just
Flame broiled was one of the greatest advertising terms. Do you know McDonald's sued Burger King for that?
It's terrible.
And then that's when Jason Alexander did his big commercial. Look it up. It was back in the early 80s.
Big Macs are way better.
Let us know in the comments.
You were
please.
questioning if I'm your son for a second. You're like, wait.
What's that?
You're questioning if I was your son for a second. Like, wait. You like Big Mac's better?
What about McDonald's fries?
They're the best. All right.
Yeah, you
So
can't beat it.
one thing I can tell you guys is the high equity has them all in there, right? And it's very important. And one thing I can tell you is like, this happens all the time too, which we have acquisitions agents that like lowball a seller. Something happens and the seller says like, F off, never talk to you again, John.
Mhm.
I'm never speaking to you, John. Screw you. I'm going with someone else. Guess what they do? Zach will call him, who's not even part of John's company, right?
Yeah.
And then we do that. So I used to have deals when I was starting out, when I was working like with you, where the person just like, I've had sellers before, and I always said this, that said, you're too young, I don't trust you. I've had that happen before. It's like 1% to 2% of sellers, right?
Yeah.
And this was like when I was like 19 years old, right? We have deals like this where like I would just have you call. Deal's done, right? And it sucks for a second, but like some people are like that, you know.
I know. When he's young, I just made him call. I'm like, if you don't make it an obstacle, it won't be. But if the minute you put the obstacle in your head, I'm too young, I'm too young, I'm too young.
No, but the person literally told me that to my face.
Correct.
And I just had you call, and you were just a random person off the street that got the deal. So guys, just under that's another like quick tip I give to you. But like the high equity stuff works.
Have a charming dad. It helps.
Oh Lord.
So it's funny. Like even with like probates, I'll send a letter under my name, and then he would warm call them. And the reality is some people just hate cold calling. They don't care who calls. And some people feel less threatened by like a letter. So doing that kind of McDonald's, Burger King approach, I'm not here to get into the burgers and the fries, but like it works. The weird thing is one thing makes someone excited and the other one ticks them off, and you can pivot. So hopefully they tell one person to take a flying leap, and then the other person like, God, I'm so glad you didn't cold call me. You waited to send me a letter. I'm like, yeah, that's all we do.
Oh my gosh. But yeah,
so it works.
Cold calling works really well, guys. I love cold calling. I think cold calling is a great one. If you're going to scale up, bandit signs. And I can tell you this, I made about 100K, and this was in like what, 3 or 4 months with bandit signs.
Yep.
And To be honest with you, I was still working a bag boy job. I was full time. I was taking college classes in high school. I was on the wrestling team. I was working like I was
And
part
I
time,
gave it to
and I
him,
was
and because I didn't use it in a long time.
yes, I agree. But um, bandit signs, I'm telling you right now, like in 3 months, I made 100K, and I was part time. So if I went full time on bandit signs, I
Uh,
could have been done in 30 days, right? Like if I
yeah.
really went hard and I didn't have a stupid school I had to do in high school. So the thing is, like, if you this is a rare one, right? Bandit signs aren't going to work for every market, but if you should test out bandit signs do work, I'd go all in on it because bandit signs are still very powerful and they're an amazing list to be going after. I love bandit signs.
As long as you can keep them up.
True. And then the next one here is reverse wholesaling and government lists. And what I mean by this, sometimes reverse wholesaling is going to be your best bet too. And let's sort of explain reverse wholesaling, right? There's a lot of people that sell courses on it. Some people, oh, I invented it. No one really invented reverse wholesaling. It's kind of a term everyone uses, like who owns the word driving for dollars, right? But um, reverse wholesaling is basically where you kind of do wholesaling in reverse, where you find the cash buyer, you see what areas they like, and then you just go after those areas, and then you kind of sell to that cash buyer really quick, and you don't have to deal with the cash buyer. You can do that too. And if I add government lists in areas where my cash buyers want, that's a big strategy too. Reverse wholesaling, it works a little better in rougher markets, right? But I think a lot of people are going to start talking about that a little more reverse wholesaling because these once markets start going weirder, reverse wholesaling actually works more. So we might be talking about that more in the future, but it's the same process. You just find a cash buyer and then you find the area the cash buyer wants, like rental, stuff like that. That's what I'd say here. So I do that with government lists. Now, the next part is we got the lists, we got the marketing channels, we know what to do. Now, the most important part is taking action, right? So what do we do if we're looking to come out here and start taking action? Like, what do we do? I would say at minimum, like if you want to make 100K, you're going to have to put 5 to 10 hours a week into marketing, and that is minimum. Like if you really want to guarantee your success, you should be at 30 to 40. But like if you even want a shot, you're going to be at 5 to 10, and that's if you're reverse drawing for dollars like crazy, right? Even door knocking. 5 to 10 hours is like a minimum, and that's not even going to guarantee your success. I'd probably be at 20 or 30, but I would be at 5 to 10 minimum. This is a really important part. I have not found one wholesaler that's consistently making 100K plus a month that doesn't have a schedule and doesn't stick to it. Discipline equals freedom. Discipline's super important. And if you want to have like success in this, you're going to have to be disciplined. Creating a marketing schedule. Hey, I'm going to pull this list this month and I'm going to market with these marketing channels, this many a day for this days, and then boom, go like with these times. If you're not specific with it, you'll not be successful. And I don't want to be brash with it, but discipline's going to be how you're important. And I've said this a million times. Pretty much every successful entrepreneur in this country, the big ones, right? They're all disciplined with everything they do, especially with their business life. And that's what you have to do. If you do not guard your time, your time will get sucked up. I'm telling you. Okay, there's TikTok out here. There's great TV shows. Got football season coming up. Football today, my lord. All right, that's exciting. But like, guys, your time will get sucked up through just life, right? If you let time suck if you let just things suck up your time, it will. And you already know this, right? Like your time will be used. But if you take time and say, hey, this is where I'm marketing, this is what I'm doing, and you stick to it, that's going to help you out. Guys, I cannot stress this. How many times have I done cold calling? I said, I don't want to cold call today. I don't want to work out today.
Like
I tell but unfortunately, when I have days where like I don't want to work out, I'm like, crap. I've worked out pretty much 4 or 5 days a week since basically high school. It's discipline. Okay. I don't break habits. That's not who I am. And I do it.
It makes you feel worse when you don't do it.
And not physically worse because you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Correct. So it's, guys, discipline, the key to discipline, and God knows I got a lot of experience in this, is you have to untether your emotional IQ to it. Okay. Your emotions are what causes you. I don't want to work out today. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to make cold calls. It's always about your emotions. So a very smart person told me once, just remove your emotions from your discipline and you'll get everything done. So unless you're in severe pain or sick, you have to move forward with the plan you set out. And so once you recognize it's your emotions that are driving some of your decisions, whether you want to feel like doing something today, remove it. Okay. And only make an exception when you're really sick, you're physically impaired, or you just, some urgent came up, and define it. If you have to go take your kid to a hospital stay, that would be it. You're just going to work out later that night. So the thing is,
Okay,
we
if your kid's in
always
the hospital, you don't have to work out. Okay.
you should. You could do lunges in the hallway.
No,
So,
no.
but the reality is, like, once you remove your emotion, you go, that's just my emotional IQ telling me that. I'm just like, dude, I'm the worst about asking him. So I get back from vacation. You guys know how it is. You got to get back into like your routines. Like me just trying to run, it's like, it's hot. I don't feel like it. It just drives you nuts. So remove your emotions from your discipline, and you can make the decision much, much easier, and you'll stick to it a lot more.
Yeah, that's it. I'm telling you guys right now, you just got to take that action. If you don't take that action, you're going to be stuck. And I feel like a lot of people, they feel like they're stuck in this business because they're not consistently taking action. And how do you become consistent in this business? You have a schedule, right? The guy or gal that consistently shows up every day and does the marketing wins out. Not the person that goes hard for a week and then quits.
I agree.
They're not successful. It's the people that constantly do the action, consistently take the action, and consistently put in the work. They're going to be the most successful people out here. So I'm stressing to everyone right now, create a schedule and stick with it. And unfortunately, a lot of people hear that, but they don't do it. And if you want to do deals right now, that's what it's going to take. Create it. I'm telling you, that's what it's going to take. So one thing I would tell you too, if you really want to make 100K, you can do it virtually. It's a lot harder. In person is the best. Like meeting sellers in person, it's the best possible way because you will make more money. And what do I mean by that? When you meet with a seller face to face, you have a better chance of getting that contract signed right there. When somebody's standing in front of you, ready to solve the problem, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it's much easier to reject anybody over the phone. When you're belly to belly, it's like night and day. And honestly, give me your contracts. I can tell you which ones you do virtually and which ones you do locally just by the profit in anybody's business. It's just,
there's some people that are different, but like, yeah.
Well, some are highly trained, and I give them credit that. For the most part, especially when you're just starting out, if you have the ability to do it in your local market, go and meet with them. Even like, well, it'll be much easier. I call them. I'm just telling you, if you guys understand that physical interaction, it just gives you a better chance to build rapport. You get more of a connection. And very rarely when we meet people in person in our business, do they back out of contracts or do anything. Listen, why do you think virtual markets have such a high back out rate? Because it's a less personable transaction, and you just don't have the ability to connect with your sellers as much. So
yeah, 100%. I'm telling you, like, you just get a better chance. You can close sellers better, and it gives you the best chance for success. Next here is you literally have the best discounts on your contracts. You get the chance of you getting a deal lowballing somebody in person versus over the phone is and I lowball a lot of sellers over the phone virtually, and I get really good deals. I get way better ones in person all day.
It's just, remember, you can look at the reaction. You get to look at the house. You get to smell the house. Like, dude, guys, it's like night and day. And guys, we're trying to find problem property. So when you get there, don't be shocked when you find a problem. And then listen, people say, well, bury their nose in the paint. I don't do it. I'm actually constantly trying to help them out. And when they see you're trying to help them out, you're a good person, they like what you have to say, you're naturally going to get, in my opinion, a 10 to 12% discount being there in person.
I would say and also, I hate to say this for my virtual people, but it's true about in person. They think you're more serious when you when you pull up to someone's house and like, hey, I'm ready to buy this house. It just seems a lot more serious than when you say it over the phone. There's one thing saying it over the phone, but like going in person, right? It's always the thing. So
it just gives you more of a chance to connect.
Well, let me tell you this too.
Personable.
This is an online phenomenon, and I see it all the time. As someone that plays a lot of video games, not as much as I used to, but like
little Galaga, huh?
Yeah, people like you're playing like Call of Duty. They'll say all this, oh, I'll beat you up, all this stuff. If they go in front of you, they're not going to beat you up. Okay. They're going to be scared to it. There's what you can say anything over the phone. People have false confidence. Guys, the amount of trolls I get on the comments saying, "Oh, you suck at wholesaling, Zach." If those people pulled up right now and went to me face to face, they'd never say it to my face.
Yeah.
But it takes. But when you go to someone face to face, they're more serious about it, right? And that's the one thing. So you're more serious. It's a lot easier to just get it done right there. There's a reason why car salesmen are still face to face. They don't do car sales over the phone like they do stocks, insurance. Car sales is still face to face because you're selling an asset. I'm not going to call it an asset.
They're
but
still
like,
they're trying to convert it.
they're
It's
50,
not,
60, 70, $80,000
I know.
buys. And selling a property is the same
There's
thing.
only one company who's figured out how to do it without a dealership.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But like,
Why? Because they never started the dealership model. That's why it
I
worked. But
know.
it took 10, 15 years to even get it to catch on. So
I agree. So in person, if you can, it's the best. I get so many people that are like, I was even talking to Sosa yesterday, and we love Sosa, right? We're doing some one-on-ones, but like I'm pushing him to go in person versus doing it over the phone. I'm pushing him hard on it because he's in a good market in North Carolina.
yeah.
If he goes in person, he's going to do way better than trying it virtually. Now, yes, you can theoretically do more deals virtually, but that only works if you have if you're drowning in leads and you're getting 15 offers and all these contracts, sure. If you're doing 15 deals and leads a day that are like ready to go and you're giving 15 offers a day, maybe virtual is going to be like a better option. But like for most people, in person, and you can scale up in person too. Like people think, oh, you can only scale up virtual. Guys, you do both of them. So once you get the deals under contract to find cash buyers, honestly, what we have found, there's 5 proven tenets of finding a cash buyer. There's more than that, but really 5's the best way. Cold call in the Zillow for rents. Your cash buyers are either going to be a landlord or flipper most of the time. So if they're a landlord, go to the cold call the for rents. I've been saying this forever, but it works. Cold calling cash sales, people that are just buying properties cash for flipping them. That works too. There's a flipper tab on listerai.com. It's great. Facebook groups. I found a ton of cash buyers. I literally showed a guy how to find his title company in Detroit on a Facebook group in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. Auctions, networking, JVing, and real estate investing associations. You can add in also real estate agents, but I put that in networking to a point. I kind of put in the 5 key tenets there. But honestly, like that's how you find deals. And if you kind of put all these together, you're going to make $100K in 30 days. The question is, are you going to pull all the government lists? Are you going to start text blasting some of those paid lists? Are you going to start doing all these things? The only answer to that question is up to you, right? And no, you don't have to make $100K in a month, right? It's not for the faint of heart. I will tell you that, okay? It is not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of work, but I feel like it's worth it. And if you're ready to go, do it. I'm telling you, make that plan and stick to it and take that action, right?
Yeah. I mean, the biggest challenge is once you get proficient in marketing and working your leads, it's kind of a lot like juggling. So think about if you had to juggle 2 deals up. When you start getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you have to keep reaching out all these people. You have to coordinate title work. You got to do buyers. And that's what kills most wholesalers when they try to scale this business. And then what they go on like a 2 or 3 month sabbatical. I know I've done it multiple times. And I'm here to tell you, that's when you bring people in to help you start answering phones, to help you start coordinating closings. And you keep going on those acquisitions because that's your highest paid skill set. And then you can get people behind the scenes to help you out, work virtually so you can manage yourself. Because remember, you got to keep marketing. That's the key to making 100 grand. If you're working on 7 or 8 deals, you just had a good month, you got to keep fighting for that same consistency next month. And the reality is, I'm here to tell you, 2 people can do $1 million plus in wholesaling fees. But I got into wholesaling so I could have more free time, not less. In the beginning, the more you can do, you can learn. You get to wear acquisitions, dispositions, marketing, everything. So when you go to hire people and you figure out how to scale it, you know exactly how to measure their success, KPIs, and then you can help them when they get in trouble. If you didn't go through this journey, if you hire people and you don't know what you're doing, you're never going to be able to grow your business. So don't get upset when you're a little bit stretched. I've been through it. He's been through it. That's how you learn. And then you got to go through some pain, and then you bring people in so you can buy back your time. And there's nothing worse than managing someone like you don't know anything about the job. So you know everything about wholesaling after a year or two. It's very easy to scale and grow. And just pick one job at a time. Don't try to hire 5 or 6 people at once.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you watch the Hard Knocks last night?
I did.
Is that where you mentioned juggling?
Yeah, I kind of got stuck in my head.
The guy was doing the
I
juggling.
thought
I was
he was going to
interested.
juggle the knives. I'm
Oh,
like, really?
yeah,
As a
yeah,
receiver's
yeah.
going to juggle knives? But it's true. It's like you ever, like, I can't
I
juggle.
watched it too. So that's what I'm saying.
Kind of wholesaling in a way. It's like, it's to learn the juggle. I think you have to put in, they said on average, like 200 hours to figure it out, minimum.
It's not that hard.
Then do get the balls
Well,
out. Let's
200 hours
go.
compared to wholesaling.
Okay, so you guys want to see Zach juggle?
I can juggle.
In 30 days. We'll do an entire
I
video.
can do
on
it. I
that.
don't think it's worth it for me.
It just,
What is that a week? 30 days.
I don't think I have the
That's like 2
hand-eye
hours a day.
coordination.
I'm not doing that. I'm telling you,
Well, that's the problem. Like, so anything you want to learn in life, you have to put time into it. Wholesaling is no different. Guys, listen, make your first 10, 20K, start doing that consistently and go, okay, how can I make more money per deal and how can I do more deals? That's actually easy to figure out. But once you start figuring out the process, so many people are sold this thing. Let me teach you how to scale from day one. You can't, because unless you go through the journey and understand how wholesaling works, you have no idea how to hire people to get through it. I took much longer than everyone else. I'm just not as bright as everybody else. But like once I mastered wholesaling, I was like the 5 to 7 year guy. You don't have to make that same mistake I did.
I agree. So let's get in some questions real quick. Then we got some one-on-ones we're going to get into, but we're excited. So quick announcement too. I'm not going to be on my live on Sunday, but Rick's going to do it.
Oh, you got me
So
as a guest, huh?
he's going to be the guest host on Sunday.
It'll be a surprise topic.
Yeah, I will not be. I won't. My voice probably won't even be working. So I'll probably
I'm going to teach millennials
Yeah.
how to work.
We'll get on there. We'll talk to the young. He'll
tell you everything your mamas didn't tell you.
Oh my lord! But yeah, it'll be a
You're
fun
a little
one.
nervous about that one, aren't you?
No, we'll let you do.
Listen, you better have like a bed and a cot set up for me because I'm usually in bed by then.
I know you're gonna be tired, but
dude, bring it. I can't wait. Millennials, bring all your questions to me.
It's not just millennials watch my channel.
I know.
It's not.
If you got questions about Zach, that's the perfect show to do it.